This is what goes on every day.
I don't have any makeup on. Go away.
Who cares? Peyton, what are you playing? Animal Jam? Nice towel.
I can't hear you. I don't have makeup on. Let me get a picture. Yeah. It's Mother's Day. There's no telling me no.
Mom, what's 20 minus 4?
16.
This is real life. What is that crap?
This is theirs.
Oh.
The fatty ones.
Yeah, I was gonna tell Tyler about that, not counting those in your macros, bro.
What are you talking about?
Hey, just relax. They're for the kids. You're not eating them. You're not in trouble.
Oh, you thought I was crunching those up for myself?
Yeah, I didn't know.
What is wrong with you?
Just so you know, I'm always watching you.
Yeah, let's talk about the Muddy Buddies.
I ate Muddy Buddies yesterday for carb day.
I didn't weigh them.
I did too.
He did not.
I did too weigh them.
Did not weigh
I had
them.
4 servings.
But you didn't weigh them.
Forest Like Science energy drinks. Serious.
And this is Tyler. This is our coach, ladies and gentlemen. And the first quality we look for in a coach is style. So he's with Team TNT, which kicks ass. We're with Team TNT, and for good reason. Honestly, Tyler has competed many times. We thought we'd show a couple pictures of him. He's a pro. He's a natural pro, or at least he says. I don't know how you can get that rip being natural, but whatever. But anyway, we wanted to show you, recommend a good coach, because if you guys are looking to start, if you haven't, with IIFYM or flex dieting, you need a coach that's going to set your macros in the right place, and there's a lot to it, guys. So I can't say enough about Tyler and what he's done for us and how much he's helped us. Team TNT, great team to go with. Anyways, let's get on with the rest of the FitPal. So guys, in order to count your macros, a site that Kate and I use all the time, or an app, is MyFitnessPal, and I wanted to create an account online to show you a couple shortcuts and tricks that will make your life easier. Kate and I had to learn this the hard way, and we're going back and forth with each other, and like, well, how do you do this? How do you add this? And they've updated the app many times to make it more user-friendly. But even a lot of friends of mine, that are just starting it out with IIFYM, they're, ask me FitPal questions all the time. So I thought it would be a good time saver for you guys to show you how to set up an account. So first off, just go to MyFitnessPal.com. And one thing it asks you after you set up your account is your current weight and your goal weight. So I don't worry about my goal weight because that's not what I use FitnessPal for. That's what I use Tyler for. So I let him worry about that other stuff, and I just worry about hitting my macros. So really, that's all I use FitnessPal for. What about you, Kate? I mean, do you use it for anything else?
No.
Right. So what I'm doing here is I thought this would save you guys some time, so I go back and forth here. It makes you add a couple things, so I just put the same weight, what I weigh now. It makes you enter in your zip code, so I did that. That's fine. And then it's cool, actually, because it's kind of a social media app as well. I don't really use it for that, neither does Kate. But you can enter in email your buddies or whatever and try to find them on it, and you can interact with them and whatnot. So this right here that I'm entering is my email that I use with FitPal. So if you guys want to add me and see what I eat, as lame as that sounds, it's nickleyh32@hotmail.com. But anyways, that's basically the gist of it to get started. And then the first shortcut that I want to show you guys is at the top of the screen here. Click food, because when you're going to be adding meals on your phone, which I'll show you in a second, I like changing my meals around where they don't just read breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, because I think that's lame. I like using meals 1 through 6, so I'm just changing these around right here. You don't have to eat 6 meals, of course, but I like having the flexibility to be able to do so. Sometimes it's needed, and I'll show you a couple tricks the way that I use this once I get to my phone. But that's basically all I change. And then I remember I figured out something where I want to go back. The default add food view, I don't like recent as much. I like meals because I save my meals a lot because I like eating the same things. Again, that's just user preference. So I'm going back up here, setting food. I set my meals, and here's how it kind of looks on the site, and that's about it. And I'll show you my phone next. Alright guys, so assuming you've downloaded the app, you've created a username, now you just got to pull it up on your iPhone or your Droid. So here's how it's going to look. The upper left hand corner is where you want to click. It brings you to this home screen where you can see diary and nutrition. All this other stuff is sweet, but all we worry about, or at least Kate and I do, is diary and nutrition. So the first thing I'll show you guys is nutrition. This pie chart is freaking sweet, and I'm laying on the sarcasm pretty thick because I don't really use it. It is actually cool if you're worrying about percentages, I guess, but like I said, I use Tyler for my numbers, so he gives me my numbers of, you know, depending on the day. Like today, for instance, was 60 fat, 210 carbs, and 225 protein. So fat I hit right on the dot. Protein I hit 223 of 225, and then carbs I hit 209 of 210. So you can see I was pretty spot on. Most days should look like this, guys. If your coach or you give your numbers a certain amount, like 60, you don't want to end up at 67. You know, you want to end up as close to that number as possible. And if you have to end at like 59 or 60, don't end at like 67, for instance. So going back to the normal screen, you got your diary. This is how you're going to add meals. Since today is over, this shows you kind of what I ate today. And you guys can add me on here if you want to see something as lame as this. But so I'm going to click on tomorrow. I'm just going to get rid of these foods. And I'm going to add a meal. So just click here like I'm doing, and let's say you want to eat an apple. So you can see many options come up, and if you're new at this, here's where you can get confused, because you're like, well, crap, man. I mean, do I eat a medium apple right there? Do I eat this Honeycrisp or Ambrosia or Fuji? You know, which one do I eat? Well, the answer simply is going to be, the more precise you are with every food that you're adding, the better off you're going to be. So if you are eating a Gala apple, you're going to write the Gala part in. And what I like to do is adding a G at the end of it, because it'll probably give you grams. It's a little trick I like to use. So yep, there it is. So Gala apples, 100 grams. That's probably one I'll select. So again, I'm going to weigh everything, and weighing it in grams is a lot more accurate than weighing in ounces. So that is what I recommend. So fat 0, carbs 14, protein 0. So that looks legit. Click the check mark, and that's basically it, guys. That's how you add a food. That's the simple part. And then another option that you can do is, let's say we want to add a food to meal 1. So I have a Powerade sitting next to my computer here that I'm going to use the scan code on. Let's see if my phone focuses and how fast it works. So that was pretty fast. Even though it's a Powerade 0, you guys get the point. You can use this scanner for basically any food that has a label on it, and it will just about, pretty quickly, it will give you the macros for everything. So you can see right there, 1 carb, And another thing too, guys, is pay attention to the serving size of everything. For instance, if you're eating a low-carb Monster energy drink like I do, I mean, that was just an example that popped in my head. You see the serving size right here is 12 full ounces. If you're eating, you can change the serving size down here if you want, and you can also change the serving size here. You can click fractions of decimal. I like decimal, so that's the way I have MyFitnessPal. So you can see 2 servings, 2 carbs. So it isn't much, guys, but the more accurate you are with all this stuff, like I said, the better off you'll be in the long run and the faster you will hit your goals. So that is how you use the scanner portion of it. And then one thing I was going to show you guys is how to save a meal. FitPal has kind of changed a few things now, so bear with me. You click this pencil symbol down at the bottom, and then you can just highlight a couple foods. And then so the bottom right here, you see the fork plus symbol and the knife. Just hit that, and then you can give it a meal name. Let's just write Nick's test meal, because I've messed around with this a few times before I filmed this video. We'll just say Nick's test meal 1. So hit the check mark, and then it will tell you that it was successfully added. So let's say we wanted to add that meal to meal 2. So right there, I just click add, and then I click meals up here, and next meal test 1. Boom. So you can see, and then I'll just do this for, I'm adding another meal here, guys, so I can show you the total macro breakdown. So fruit and flank, whatever, that's a meal I like eating, for instance. So we have 3 meals here, and then I can click down here and it shows that graph again, but what we're really looking at is this snapshot. So if I'm looking at meals 1 through 3, this is how I add as I go during the day. So 12 fat, 68 carbs, and proteins at 51. Just as a crazy example out of the blue. So you can do it that way, but what I recommend, and the reason I'm showing you guys how to count or how to add meals in here, because it makes things a lot easier. And my point is, you guys want to plan things out. The more you can plan things out, the better off you're going to be. So for example, going to another day just to show you how I do things. I'm going to add plus. I like eating a huge meal at the end of the day that I look forward to. It's a big salad that you guys saw in that video. Where is it saved down here? Caesar salad of peace is what I named it. But see all these ingredients, guys? There's quite a bit of things in here, and it's pretty monotonous to, number one, add all these manually or scan them. It's equally monotonous. By the end of the day, you don't really want to mess with that, so it kind of makes your life a little easier by saving the meal. You can just hit the check mark right there. And so I will add that first thing in the day. That way it subtracts these numbers from my total macros. So if I look right here, there's 29 grams of fat in that salad, which is quite a bit. My total is 60, so that's half my fat for the day. But it's a lot of volume. I enjoy eating it, so I plug it in there. 66 protein, 41 carbs. Not bad for a salad. But anyways, I X out, and then I go to meal 1, and I'll just add this casein blueberry sludge that I make. I'll just add proteins, or excuse me, I'll add blueberries with some dimetized casein, and I have some coffee with some creamer in it. So that's a meal that I like eating too. But so my point is, guys, I like starting from the end, and I kind of work my way towards the middle. That way I'm not just haphazardly, stuck at a certain number by the end of the day, meaning if I just fly by the seat of my pants and eat whatever I want, by the time I get to 8 o'clock at night where I'm about ready to have my last meal, you might end up with, let's say your total is 200 carbs, 60 fat, 225 protein. Let's say you're at 223 protein, you're at 40 fat, and you're at 198 carbs. Well, it just makes things more difficult to try to hit crazy numbers out of the blue, and versus just planning everything from the get-go. So one, I recommend starting with a meal that you like, saving it, and I like eating the same meals over and over, at least ones that I really like. I find a meal that I like and I save it, and I try to eat it as much as I can, just because I'm a simple person. But again, with IIFYM, you can eat whatever the heck you want, but at the end of the day, really, it's all preference. But I like keeping it simple, and so does Kate. And however you decide to do it, hit your numbers at the end of the day, and you guys will get to your goals. The sooner the better. So hopefully you guys have found this video to be of value. Like, comment, subscribe, or send us some hate mail. Whatever you guys prefer to do. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.